Hey people, welcome back again. Another quick video how to fix these BT Essential Wi-Fi Powerline kit, especially the one that's Powerline 500. Intermittent dropout, the internet will cut out and then comes back on, goes off and comes back on. Now I have found that there is a common issue with them, and it is a bad capacitor on one of the unit out of the two. So we'll sort of start off with this big one. There we go. Okay, so there's nothing obvious here at the moment. Those two caps looks okay. There's no circuitry issues, nothing burnt out. Yeah, all good. So I'm going to sort of leave that to a side. Let's just not to forget to put this back on. And I'm quite confident that this is okay. It's likely to be the other unit, so for that reason I may put these screws back on. I've had a few. This would be the second unit that I've had to fix with the same issue. So let's have a look. I can't remember what the capacitance for that capacitor was, so I do need to jog my memory. So what's that? Right, okay, I'm gonna have to get a little fraying tool of some sort just to try and get this off without causing any. Okay, just go easy. Right, there we go. So that just comes out straight forward. So lock and bingo, just as I suspected. Okay, look what you can see. So this particular capacitor, that one's got a bulge on the top. That one's not too bad, but this has definitely got a bulge, and that is the reason, one of the reasons why it's actually cutting out and it's going through all these issues. So I have to somehow get this PCB out. Let me just try and think without sort of damaging anything. So my guess is going to be that I'll have to pray. Yep, push it. From what I remember, push it. Pull this with your finger upwards, upward, and then just lever this side and the other side. Okay, with a little praying tool and pull it out. There you go. Fantastic. Right. Okay. So what is the value of this capacitor? That is a 1000 microfarad 6.3 volt DC. So that's what we need to replace it with. Now the trouble is that I don't think I've got anything, without searching through the entire boxes of capacitors, I don't think I'm going to be lucky enough to find one that I can replace immediately. So let's see what this is. 1025 volt. Nope. 1006.3, but that's bulging. I think I keep some of this stuff. I think this is actually the same capacitor. It is the same capacitor. Yep, it is. Made by Acon. Is that also made by Acon? Yes, it is. So it is the same capacitor. Wow. Don't know why I kept that, but I kept it. Right, so that would mean I'm gonna have to look through my dungeon to try and find a capacitor that I can sort of just quickly do this repair and get it out. So let's see what these are. No, these are 330 microfarad. So yep, I'm gonna have to sort of grab and find one of them, and then I'll continue with the repair. Peace. Only kidding. Okay, just was interrupted with something, so I had to deal with the other issue. Anyway, well, we'll continue with this repair. So as we've established that this capacitor is faulty, it's a 1000 microfarad 6.3 volt. So let's start by taking this off. So let's get this soldering station turned on. Okay. Fume extractors on, and I'm going to use this massive soldering tip from Metcal to try, and I may have to add a little bit of solder, possibly a low melt solder, because that one of the joint looks very dry. So just be careful with solder spitting, and this you saw that just jumped out, so be very careful with things like that. Okay, so we're quite happy that I've reflowed that joint and that as well, just to make things easy. Alright, and just don't forget the polarity side, it's already marked, so not too bad. And all I do is just pull it out, done, kaput. Let's clean these with, I can do it two ways. I can use this gun. This is what I'm using. Picked it up from Amazon for about roughly 18, under 20 quid. Right, can't remember the exact amount, so what I'll do, let's see how good it is. Brilliant. No need for the solder wick. The other one, hold it for about a couple of seconds, release, gone. Holes are nice and clean, fantastic. This is what I call productive, being productive. Right, so let's, yeah, so as I said, I think I've done a review on this. It's all metal construction, and it does say made in Japan. And I'll tell you something, this is one of the best soldering suction tool I have come across with. Okay, let's shut off this extractor fan for now. So this is the one that's faulty. Okay, so let's quickly measure this under the ESR meter. Turn that on, and let's see what reading we get. Okay, so it does say leaky, you can see on screen. Let's take that off, let's try it one more time. Okay, so that is one of the root cause of this intermittent dropout on these adapters. Let's try this one. That's the replacement cap what I can find in my stash. It's a 1200, but don't worry about it. Oops, I must have touched it. Hang on. There you go. Okay, I must have touched the probe. That's why. So rerun the test again. All right. So I wouldn't worry about the capacitors inside of it too much, as long as it's 6.3 volt, which it is, and it's not a massive variation between the two. 1000 and 1200 is not a big deal, but these Acon capacitors are absolute rubbish. So let's try with this, with the Sanyo, and furthermore the pitch is a 10mm pitch. That pitch between the two legs is 10mm, so that's what you also need. The height again, I would probably say the capacitor. Have I got anything that I can measure it with? No, I'm not going to bother with that, but you get the idea. That will fit in the casing without an issue. So let's grab the PCB, get shut of this. Thank you, USR. So this is the correct polarity. So let's make this leg a little bit wider so I can get them in with ease. There we go. And what we'll do is let's turn the extractor fan back on. Little amount of flux, just so that the solder can flow with ease and give me a decent joint. It's too much already. I can use that to sort of. Okay. I'm gonna hold it from the bottom. Just reflow that joint. Okay. The 3-second rule, that'll do for me. It's JDEC's recommendation that the joint should be around about 3 seconds. You know, you're holding the tip of your soldering iron for about 3 seconds and no more. But in practical world, yeah, I suppose you do sort of get a decent joint within that time frame, or you should do. If not, then there's something not right. It could be your solder alloy, which is very unlikely, or you could have a crappy flux. So let's give this a little clean. I'm going to use cotton bud, which is my best friend when it comes to cleaning flux and cleaning PCBs. But also I use toothbrush. So let's sort of sure that we're quite happy. So the cleaning process is done. That's my ultrasonic clean. Alright, so we're quite happy. We can now put this back together. So it's this orientation where this little line, neutral and live, it says those are the terminals, so this is the orientation it's going to go back in. And let's just slide it. You've got to slide it in underneath these grooves, but it's all easy. Sometimes it's all easy said than done, so let's sort of push it in its place, just gently. Yep, that's in its place, and I think, yeah, we're good to go. It's a successful repair. I know it's going to work because I've done one before. And let's put this back together. Alright, you're just going to have to take my word for it. This has resolved the issue. Thank you very much for sticking around. And we have another Powerline kit that's fixed, working. Zoom out, that's the maximum zoom out I can have. Yep, happy days. That's it really. So that's all guys. Stay well, stay safe, and I'll catch up with you in the next video. Peace.